And much of my work is custom work making dolls specially for children, and I also do a lot of work making dolls for women. In autumn 2018, I was having a conversation with a dear friend of mine, and she told me part of her story, that she'd been born in a mother and baby institution. This had had an enormous impact on the trajectory of her life, and I offered to make her a little doll to represent the little girl that she had been, that had had to go through some of these awful and difficult experiences. She found having the little doll both healing and helpful, and asked me to make dolls of her two siblings, also born in mother and baby institutions. And one of these dolls was for her little brother Stephen, who died 5 short weeks after his birth and was buried in an unmarked pauper's grave. As I made Stephen's doll, I cried and I cried, and I thought to myself that every baby that this had happened to should have someone make a doll for them. Someone to take 3 or 4 hours out of their life to think about this little person that they never met and don't even know the name of, to honour and to remember them. And so at that point, I did a little research and discovered that the then estimated number of babies thought to have died in Ireland mother and baby institutions was 6,000. Of course, since then, the Commission estimated the number to be closer to 9,000, but the reality, of course, is that it's much higher than that. I realised that I would never be able to make that number of dolls on my own, and so the Babóg project was born. The invitation was for people to contribute a doll or many. The dolls could be made in any way. The only requirement was that they were small enough to fit into the palm of your hand. The project captured people's imaginations and hearts, and dolls started arriving from every county in Ireland, indeed from countries all over the world. They were made in so many ways: knitted, sewn, crocheted, carved, moulded, felted, knotted. And as you can see from the beautiful dolls that I brought with me, each one is unique and special, and each one was made with love and care. With many of the dolls came little notes or letters. Often the crafters shared a little of their own story, or perhaps how the project had touched and affected them. Many contributors were survivors of the mother and baby institutions. Many had family members who'd been there. Others had no direct connection with the mother and baby institution, but were glad to find a way of expressing their collective grief and outrage. For some, it was the first time that they had heard this part of Ireland's history. For me, the project was a community project. Everyone was welcome to contribute and participate, and there was no need to be a professional artist. There was no expectation that the doll be perfect. The focus instead was on the process, taking the time to remember and to reflect, connecting people across age, ability, class and nationality. The project ran for 2 years through a number of lockdowns, and by All Souls Day 2020, when the project finished, we had gathered a staggering 12,000 dolls. In December of that year, a small group of women laid all 12,000 dolls out on the land in Corkmacsherry, where I live. This laying out was made into a beautiful film which you can view online. In spring of 2021, we launched an online exhibition that holds both the aforementioned film and also a catalogue of every doll that was sent to the project, and many of these accompanying notes and stories. This is the story of the Babóg project so far. The work over the coming months and years is to disseminate this incredible body of work and to find the dolls a permanent home or homes. So please do take your time to have a look at the dolls on your way back out again before you leave. And you're also very welcome to visit the online exhibition, which is just www.thebabogproject.com. And I'll be around if you wanted to ask any questions or have a chat. Thank you very much for having me.